And on this episode of Everything Doesn't Need a Sequel, we have this from Slash Film. Horror sequel Ready or Not to announce with Samara Weaving returning for more games. If you've seen the movie Ready or Not, it was a really great movie. Not a single bad thing to say. Highly recommend it. Really great horror movie. A lot of fun to watch. A lot of action. A lot of comedy. Highly recommended. If you haven't checked it out, go see it. It's probably on some streaming site somewhere. However, the story ended. The story ended in the first one. You don't need a sequel. And it really makes me wonder, is Hollywood finally out of ideas? That we had a single solo movie. Like I said, it ended. I don't want to really give a lot of spoilers away, but I'm going to give away some spoilers right now. Screw it. Okay? She lives. The entire family that's hunting her down dies. If I remember it correctly, she gets married, and this family plays a game every time there's a wedding, and she drew a card where they have to hunt her down, and if they don't kill her by the sunrise, they all die to some kind of demonic thing. And then the whole time you're like, oh, well, it's just a cult. These people are crazy. And at the end of the movie, the sun rises and they all explode into bloody messes. It's a really fun movie. Highly recommend it. I don't know if I'd give it a 10 out of 10, but I can't think of a reason to not give it a 10 out of 10. But there's no reason to make a sequel. I mean, what's the story going to be? She finds another family? I could understand if it was Ready or Not 2 without her. And the author of this article has a few theories. I don't think any of them work. I think you're thinking way too deeply in this movie, because at the end of the movie, before her new husband blows up in a bloody mess, she tells him, I want a divorce. And it says here, but since he exploded before any paperwork could be completed, she may as well be the sole heir of the Les Dormaz fortune and any associated curses. I don't think that's what it's gonna be. I don't think she's gonna be legally stuck with this family and then have to marry some. The whole family's done. There's no one left. So she's gonna marry someone and then have to play a game with them to kill them if they draw the wrong card. Goes on to say, one possibility is to theme the sequel around a different game besides hide and seek. No. You're going to base it around hide and seek because that's what it's about. Finding and hunting down this person. It says capture the flag, tag, musical chairs. No. It doesn't work. The only thing I could think of, and this is just me off the top of my head, make it a prequel. Make it a prequel where we stupidly go over in great detail of what this family is, bring in other families, maybe talk about the parents or something. This was the first time that they've ever done the game, or one of the endings where they actually killed the people and the curse continued and blah blah. That's the only thing that would make sense. But going forward, when I see that she's associated with it, the actress Samara Weaving, whatever way you pronounce her last name, I have no idea. When I see that her name's in it, it's just going to be a dumb sequel. This movie made a lot of money. I think it says here it was a $6 million budget and grossed over 50 something. Yeah, it says $6 million budget, grossed over 57 million. Okay, it made a good profit. It made a good chunk of change, and they made a really good movie. But since Hollywood today can't do anything right, they're just going to make sequels of anything. And of course, if they're making a sequel, they're going to up the budget. Just like with Joker 2. The first one made a ton of money on a very low budget. And then what do they decide to do? Let's up the budget by a lot. And use a lot of big budget musical scenes and crap like that cost obviously a lot of money. And let's hire Lady Gaga and give her a lot of money. And let's give Joaquin Phoenix a ton more money for returning. If they would have made the same Joker 2 on the budget, which realistically they could have, if they would have made it with the same budget as Joker 1, it might have squeaked away with a profit. It might have maybe squeaked away with something. Not billion-dollar movie, but it certainly would have been a huge, massive loss for Warner Brothers. So same thing with this. Ready or Not sequel, You're going to screw it up. You're going to screw up the story. You're going to continue something that doesn't need to be continued. It should have been a solo movie. You're going to up the budget, and this thing is ultimately going to flop in the box office. I'm booking it now, and I want to see the sequel because I like the first one so much. But in the end, what do you guys think about that? I'm caught in